Welcome to this edition of Car and Driver. I'm Jim Scouten with a news flash for Y2K. Take your first look at the new Bonneville for the model year 2000. It's a Car and Driver exclusive, as we're the first to take Pontiac's hot new ride into the next century. We chose the not yet completed new Irwindale Speedway in the Los Angeles Basin for our first meeting with the Bonneville, secure from unauthorized eyes. And Pontiac's flagship is an eyeful, based on a new platform just being introduced for GM midsize and luxury cars.
That's correct. This is all new from the ground up. This is based off of the most advanced mid-lux architecture that we've got, most recently introduced on the 98 Seville. It's got 27% increase in bending and a 62% increase in torsional stiffness, so a much more rigid body structure.
And the new architecture also brings that Pontiac signature, a wider track.
What we've done is we've taken the car and made it more of a wedge shape, taken the haunches and widened them out a little bit, given it more of a squatty appearance, and we've lengthened the wheelbase and lengthened the track so that the wheels are now pushed out of the corners.
Inside, that creates comfortable space for 5, with legroom in back for 6-footers. Driver and passenger get multi-adjustable buckets that are comfortable but could benefit from more lateral support. Shoulder belts now retract into the seat back above the side airbag compartments. And the instrument panel is all new and much improved in control placement, with the primary functions surrounding the driver. Auto temp dual zone heating and air controls are in the center under the superb Delco Bose 8-speaker stereo. The console presents the selector for the 4-speed auto with the traction control switch close at hand, which you probably won't want to switch off. Not if you check off the box for the optional supercharger between the heads of the 3.8-liter V6, sending 240 horses to the front wheels. Pontiac says that's good for a tick over 7 seconds in the dash to 60, and our stopwatch testing suggests that's about right. But the hot Bonneville is not a handful to drive.
Pontiac's done a good job at controlling the power. 240 horsepower in a front-wheel drive car. Not a lot of torque steer in this vehicle, especially with the traction control engaged.
You'll want to read Steve's detailed analysis in his cover story for the March edition. But we can tell you that the standard 4-wheel disc with anti-lock definitely perform. And in our limited seat time on the Irwindale half-mile oval, the stiffer structure of the Bonneville is apparent. In SSEI trim with firmer struts and anti-roll bars, both front and rear, and 17-inch low-profile Goodyears on all corners, Pontiac's flagship handles like none that have come before.
Their target was the BMW 3 and 5 series in terms of handling. I'm not sure they're quite there. We're talking front-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive for the BMW, but they're certainly a lot closer than they were.
Realistically, the SSEI will go up against the Chrysler 300M when it comes to market. And it should be an interesting face-off to track, with an estimated base price of $31,000, about $34,000 equipped with the options on our tester. It may come down to an individual reaction to the styling, whether you love it or leave it.
It's not a simple design. It could tend to polarize people. Some people don't like the amount of different sort of contours you have in the side of this car. I think it's attractive. I think it holds together pretty well as a whole package, though. In terms of the overall looks, there's a nice sense of family styling here. It looks a little bit like the Grand Prix. You can tell that it's definitely something new, but you can also tell it's definitely a Pontiac.
For a number of years now, Pontiac has been the GM division on the outer edge of styling development, and some of those experiments have not been entirely successful. But in the case of the new Bonneville, we think it works very well. And backed up with a blown V6, it's reassuring to learn that at least in Pontiac's case, driving in the new millennium isn't going to be the least bit boring.